Hello strangers, welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been ages since I've done a video. Life is just crazy. All of my editing time has been focused on business stuff and not stuff for fun, but I'm making this a priority and getting back into it. So thank you so much for coming back. I've missed doing these videos and I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I've been doing in my fitness journey that's kind of changed since some of the earlier videos that I made. And I just feel like, yeah, there's a lot of like tips and tricks that I've started to learn that are more easily applied to life and just the general like goals that most people have. So I wanted to share some of those things today in hopes that you can apply some of them to your fitness journey and just allow yourself to live a healthier life. As always, please make sure to like and comment on this video. It really helps to support the engagement in my channel. If you don't already subscribe, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. This week we're going to be talking about tracking. And really, we're talking about tracking in relation to just about every part of our fitness. I think a lot of times when people hear tracking, they think tracking their diet. And while yes, that's a big part of your fitness journey, there's other things that I have found to be super beneficial to track that I just want to talk about today. I have a few apps that I use, so I want to talk about how I use them. And yeah, just share a little bit about what I'm doing just to give you ideas of what might be helpful for you to do in your fitness journey. Okay, so a few things that I just want to cover about why I think tracking is important. When I first started getting into fitness when I was in college, I really just kind of did whatever I felt like doing, but I never tracked anything. I never tracked my progress, like how I was progressing physically. I think I tracked my diet a little bit back then, but I didn't really think about it that much. Helpful to track things, so I'm not just assuming I understand how I'm progressing in my diet and exercise and physical fitness level. So one of the first things I've done and something that I've used for a really long time is I use the app called MyFitnessPal, and I use that for tracking all of my food. If you're not somebody who likes to track what you eat and that kind of stuff, or if it's something that triggers you from like an eating disorder perspective, do not do it. I like to do it just because it helps educate me, but if it's not going to be good for you from a mental standpoint, or it doesn't fit into your just daily life and how you function as a human, then don't do it. You don't have to do it. But I really love using MyFitnessPal. It's really easy to use. So there's a diary section and you can add in all of your food. So your breakfast, your lunch, snacks, how much water you're consuming. You can link it to your Apple Watch so it can add in the calories burned from your workouts. And I really like that because it shows me. Right now, I'm in a phase where I'm trying to be in a calorie deficit, but I also want to be hitting my macros, which is something I'll talk about a little bit later. And I'm not at the point where I'm experienced enough to just know how to eat like that. So for me, it's been really helpful to track, okay, how many calories should I be hitting each day? Where are my protein, fat, and carb macros at for the day? What do I need to eat for dinner or for my next snack? That's going to help me hit my macros. And it's also really nice because if you go out to eat, I'll just show an example. Like if you go to Chipotle and you get like a steak bowl, they have the stuff that has the green check mark is like the verified stuff that comes from their like reviewed database. Well-known chain restaurants have their menus in here that you can add in. There's also a scan the barcode section. If you can see that. Scan a barcode on a bag of chips. So if you open it up, you just take a picture of it. And if it's in their database, it will pull it up. MyFitnessPal is a really well-known app. So the chances are that like any popular food item is going to be in there. After I eat a meal, I'll log it into MyFitnessPal. Again, just because right now I'm trying to really understand my calorie intake for the day, what my deficit is. So deficit is just like how many calories under my typical eating diet I should be to lose weight. I'm not in a surplus right now, or I'm trying not to be in a surplus. So if you're in a surplus, you're going to be, gaining weight or gaining muscle, building muscle. If you're in a deficit, that's when you're trying to lose fat. Pretty much like the straightforward terms. I know that there's other apps that you can use. MyFitnessPal is the only one that I have experience with. So if you have experience with another one and you want to share it with people, you can add that in the comments below for other people to see. The free version, I know that there's a paid version, but I just haven't found that it's been necessary for me to use the paid version. So I just stick to free because, one less thing that you have to pay for. I talked a little bit about macros. What's really nice is there's also a nutrition section of this. So if you click into this, there's your nutrients for the day, your calories broken down by meal if you want to look at that. But then there's also this macro section. I do not follow the goals that are in here created by this app. I actually follow the goals that my coach Mitch has put into my plan for me. If you don't have a coach, you can still track your macros. Before I talked to Mitch about it, I actually went to ifitfitsyourmacros.com, IIFYM. It's completely free. So IIFYM, if it fits your macros, and then you just go through the questionnaire that they have on there. The whole purpose of tracking your macros is to understand your macronutrients, so your protein, fat, and carbs. And the reason that that's important is when you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to gain muscle, protein is a very, very important part of your diet to build muscle, to help burn fat, to keep you feeling fuller longer, so it's a satiating nutrient. And you want to have a certain mix of macronutrients. It also allows you to have a little bit more of a flexible diet. So if you follow me from the beginning of this journey, I was eating very strictly paleo. I've slowly adapted that to add in more things into my diet and just understand what things truly affect my digestion and what things don't, and create a plan that's a little bit more sustainable for me. That's why I really like macros. Eventually, I would like to get to the point where I can intuitively eat and hit my macros without having to track my calories. But until I'm at that point, I love tracking my macros. And again, if it fits your macros, completely free. You go through the survey, you enter your email, and it sends you everything online. And then you can use MyFitnessPal and just take a screenshot of what the recommended macros are from If It Fits Your Macros, because they're not going to match what's in MyFitnessPal. And just remember to check those when you're logging at the end of each day and seeing where you're at, and then you can learn to adjust from there. I think using If It Fits Your Macros and MyFitnessPal is a really great place to start if you've never done anything like this, if you don't really understand how you're eating. What I found when I first started doing this is I was not eating enough in general, like not enough calories each day. And I was not eating the right amount of protein, fat, and carbs. So I was pretty under in my protein intake, and I ate a lot more fats and carbs. So I've tried to fluctuate that to support having enough protein in my diet each day. Next thing that I want to talk about is recording your fitness or tracking your fitness progression. So this is something that I recently started doing, and really it just kind of comes like automatically with the coaching program that I'm using through Powertrain and working with Mitch. I've shared this before, but we use an app called True Coach, and it's where Mitch inputs all of my workouts for the week. But something that's really, really awesome and been super beneficial is if I go into a specific workout, let me see, I'm going to go to a past workout and just pull up, okay. So on Mondays, I do front squat, and he has a specific set of reps and sets that I do each week. I can click into my exercise history. So I'm going to click into that, and I'll see that when I started front squatting, I was at 105 pounds for one set of 10, and then all the rest of the sets, how much I did. And then I can continue to check in each week. Okay, last week I did this number of sets with this number of reps with this number of weight. Okay, what do I think I should be at? If I'm dropping reps, I can increase weight, Or do I want to try and increase weight this week if I'm doing the same sets and reps? Just like really understanding where I started when I started with that exercise and progressively adding more so that I can maximize my strength, increase my strength, push my muscles a little bit more than what they've done before. It's not going to perfectly happen like that every week. I don't always hit a new PR from the week before. It really depends on how I'm feeling, but I love that because it allows me to see, if I'm feeling really good that day in the gym and I really think I can push myself, what is the most weight I've done before? And then look back in my previous exercises and go from there. Also helps me understand like the rep to set ratio. So, if I'm doing the same set of steps and the same set of reps each week, from week to week, I should be able to do a little bit more weight. But when Mitch has me doing more sets with less reps or the same number of sets, but like we're going down from, 8 to 10 reps to 4 to 6 reps, that also helps me understand what kind of weight I can do and add on. So when I was doing, like a 1 rep max, I understood, okay, that's like the most I can do. So if I'm going to do 3 sets of 4, I should be able to take, 20 pounds off and be able to still do that number of sets and reps. So again, it just really helps me understand where I'm at and what things I need to adjust for that specific workout and what areas I need to push myself in more and just allow myself to build more muscle and understand, that mind-body connection of what things I really can handle versus what I think I can handle. So, when I first started, I was doing things really, really light because I had no concept of how strong I really was. But through tracking, I've been able to see, the progression of adding more weight, how I felt when I was doing that. And, was I really fatigued or did I have a few more reps in me or was I really able to add more weight? But I also think this is not something that just applies to resistance training. So if you're not somebody who is weightlifting and you're going for runs, you can track, okay, I'm going to do a 30-minute run today. Let's see how far I can get. And then every time you do a 30-minute run, you can track and see, okay, how far did you run? What was your split paces? Split paces is, your mile pace. And I actually used to use Map My Run when I was running a lot. That's a really good one for tracking. If you love to track your runs, it tells you your split pace, so your pace per mile, your distance, the duration, the elevation change. It actually even gives you a map of where you ran in your neighborhood. So that's another really great tracking app that you can use for fitness. Last tracking method I want to talk about is the old school method, and that's just a pen and paper, a notebook. My brother Josh, he uses a journal where he adds in, his planned meals for the week. He adds in his planned workouts, and he tracks all of that through pen and paper. And he likes to be able to, page back through, look at it, and like have the actual act of writing it out. It just depends on what type of person you are. If writing it out is going to help you stick to it or is going to make you be more attached to, the action of that habit, creating that habit, then do that. I love my app because it's one less thing that I have to carry with me. I already have a million other things going on in my life. I have mom brain, so sometimes I just forget, and my phone is always with me when I'm doing a workout. So for me, I love that I can track everything in an app. I know my brother also uses MyFitnessPal, but I think he still plans his meals out in his journal. Don't quote me on that. Sorry, Josh, if I'm wrong, but he does have a journal where he adds in all of his exercises and everything like that. The last thing that I want to talk about today is just some of the challenges that I've been overcoming in this whole fitness process and why tracking really helps overcome some of those obstacles. I think a lot of us really struggle with our fitness when it comes to social settings or our weight loss journey. For me, I'm somebody who is a very social person. So when I hang out with friends and family, I don't like to think about the fact that I'm trying to lose weight. It's really hard for me to restrain myself from, eating something or, having an alcoholic beverage when I'm around people because I want to be able to enjoy that stuff. But I think tracking has helped me realize, how it takes away from my goals when I do overindulge. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't enjoy time with friends and family, and I'm not saying that this should consume your life by any means. But if you have goals, the fact of the matter is you have to give up stuff to be able to get to them. That's just it. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's definitely not easy, but it's simple. You have to follow a plan until you get to the right point of where you want to be, and then you can adjust and you can have more of a maintenance style lifestyle when it comes to food and alcohol and fitness. But if you're in a weight loss journey, you have weight to lose. So the whole entire goal is to not overeat, not overconsume, focus on your fitness, don't get derailed, and tracking, it's going to make you be honest with yourself. If you had 3 slices of pizza and 5 White Claws last night, like that's going to tell you in your fitness pal, okay, how many calories were you over for the day? Did you hit your macros? Is that bad that you did that? I mean, bad for your goals. Is your goal to lose weight, or is your goal to enjoy your life? I mean, you can have both, but some things you have to give up to get to where you want to be. And I think a lot of times we either restrict ourselves too much or we don't restrict ourselves enough, and then we get frustrated and we're like, well, why am I not losing weight? Are you really doing the things that you need to be doing to lose the weight? I mean, when you look in the mirror and you don't like the way you look, nobody is going to fix that for you. Only you can fix that. And if it means not eating 3 pieces of pizza with a group of friends and opting to have, a salad with grilled chicken instead, that's one meal with friends. Are your friends not going to want to hang out with you because you chose to eat a salad instead of a piece of pizza? No. Or if they're going to pressure you to eat something that is not in your diet, then maybe they're not the people that you should be surrounding yourself with for now. Like, you need to find people that support you and build you up in this process and allow you to reach your goals. And tracking and being honest with yourself is going to be the best way to support you and allow you to reach your goals until you really have that support system, until you have that self-control, until you know how to intuitively eat and follow your macros and not overeat or not undereat or, whatever it is in this whole process. I say all of that because I think the weekends are our weak points. We're great through the week because we have a structure. We go to the gym in the morning, we go to work, we come home, we have meals that we have prepped, we're doing great, and then the weekend comes. And we see our friends, and we want to have a few drinks with our friends, and we want to go shopping, and we're hungry, so we have to grab something to eat when we are out shopping. Or we have a cookout to go to, and all they have are burgers and dogs and chips. And we don't prepare ourselves for these moments of weakness, and we allow ourselves to get hungry, and then we eat whatever is around us. Or we don't track or prepare, okay, I'm going to eat a really well-balanced, breakfast so that I can allow myself to be a little bit more flexible when I'm at that picnic, and I can, have a cheeseburger, or I can have a few, White Claws or beers or whatever. Like, again, it's okay to do those things, but figure out what season are you in. Are you in the season of losing weight? Are you in the season of gaining muscle? Are you in the season of you've done both of those things and you're kind of just like enjoying yourself? Good, you've put in the work to get there. So really just thinking about everything from the situation of what is your goals, and then figuring out from there, how is tracking this going to help? And my recommendation is get to the point where you don't have to track anymore. And life will be a lot easier. But until you are at the point where you've met your goals, tracking is probably going to be the best, most helpful way to understand how you got from point A to point B and getting yourself to that goal. I know this was a lot of information. I know I got a little passionate about some things, but it's also just a really good reminder to myself when I'm, being a little bit of a pity party and getting frustrated with myself. I can look at my apps and my tracking and be honest with myself and say, Jen, have you really done the work that it takes to reach your goals? And if I haven't, then I need to adjust. So I hope that you can take some of these tips, some of these tracking recommendations, and apply them to your life. Allow yourself to reach your goals and be happy with yourself. Look in the mirror and love who you are, love the work that you put into yourself, and just really live a healthier lifestyle and be able to enjoy those times with friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to tune in for my next video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.